This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com in review. And what I'm looking at today is 2021 Agnes, directed by Reece. And I really like this movie. Though I also think the director very much played a bait and switch with it, in the sense that if you look at the poster, you get the impression that this is a horror movie. And in fact, it starts off very much like a horror movie. The problem is, though, is that this is not really a horror movie. It is a drama with a horror movie facade, and it doesn't even pretend to be anything but. And that makes it frustrating. And it's also a pity, because if Agnes were played simply as a drama, cut all the other stuff out, this would have been a great movie. As it stands, as I said, I enjoyed it, but the deceptive nature of its promotion really bothers me. The movie starts off with a convent, and in this convent there is one of the sisters who begins to act very oddly, and they come to believe that she is possessed. Now, I have no experience with possessions, but as depicted in this movie, it is so stereotypical, which is to say the possessed person curses a lot and does things that are shocking to someone who's perhaps very pious. It's this more stereotypical depiction of a possession that reels you in and gives you the impression that you're watching a horror movie. A priest comes to the convent to exorcise the supposed demon. He has an assistant. Now, the movie shifts to the priest and his assistant. This priest has seemingly been involved with child molestation, or at least rumored to be involved with child molestation. And it appears the diocese is trying to get him out the way in this case because they believe he would fail. Now, the problem with this logic is that this priest was either accused of or is guilty of child molestation. Therefore, I don't think you need an excuse to get rid of him. Though, to be fair, the way the Catholic Church seems to handle these matters, maybe they would. But that's really a sad commentary on the Church. But in any case, this priest and his assistant, who's not yet a priest, but he's going to take his vows, I believe, in a few months or something, go to the convent, and they meet Agnes, who is the possessed sister. And as I said, she acts in a very stereotypical manner. It's not bad, but it's also something you've seen before. And so it's less shocking than just kind of interesting or anything else. And at that convent, we meet another sister whose name is Mary. And the movie switches tracks. A certain amount of time passes. Mary has quit the church, she has lost her faith, and Agnes is dead. So now the movie is following Mary. The actress who plays Mary, Molly C. Quinn, is great. She has a very fresh-faced look about her, but she's also able to plumb depths of pain and despair from one scene to the next. She is really good in the role. But as I said, this movie doesn't do her justice. What I think the director, Reece, is trying to talk about is losing one's faith and how one survives under those circumstances. But the way he chooses to do it is just not very good. That's not to say that there's a problem with the concept in and of itself. The concept is actually interesting. It's executed in such a way that it almost feels like, as a moviegoer, you're being deceived. This movie is very thoughtful, it's very introspective, it's also not a horror movie. And what Mary has to go through in losing her faith and making her way in the world is a fascinating topic. And in fact, I would have loved to have seen a movie like that. Instead, we get this pseudo-horror movie thing going. Agnes is a fascinating movie, and as I said, I particularly enjoyed it, but it is not a horror movie. And even that would be less of an issue if it weren't seemingly trying to deceive viewers into believing it is a horror movie. So what do you think? This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com in review. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like or a follow.